Hi everyone. The purpose of today's video is to teach you how to use the ProQuest elibrary database to find information for your research project. The first step that you will do is go to Google Classroom and click on Edgar Allan Poe Research Notes. Go ahead and pause this video and do that now. Now that you've opened up the research notes assignment, you're going to find that your assignment is to write a research paper in which you will claim whether or not Edgar Allan Poe suffered from a mental illness. You must use evidence from his life and from his works to support your claim. Consider choosing from the following mental illnesses: depression, bipolar disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, anxiety disorder, psychosis, or sociopathic personality disorder. The first thing you'll do is type your essential questions in the box below. So here you would type something like, what is, and then whatever illness you're searching. How does a person get whatever the illness is? What are the symptoms? You need at least 3 research questions related to the mental illness that you're searching for. Then you might have a couple other research questions that you could consider, like, was Edgar Allan Poe depressed, or bipolar, or obsessive compulsive, etc., whatever you picked. Did he act in whatever way you think a person might act if they had one of these disorders? So your research questions come first. Now, if you were in one of my classes already who did the works cited on the sources we've already covered, then you will have information here in your box. But if you were in the other classes, we will do this works cited later. You're going to need this box throughout the entire research project, because remember, a works cited is a list of sources that you've used in your project. But the purpose of this video is to really get to the heart of our research, which is this part right here. Find relevant information from the elibrary database using the link proquest12.com. Go ahead and open this in a new tab. Pause this video as needed. Your username is here, 05-101837. Now you can do like I did and copy and then paste. Password is Big Chalk. Okay, so 05-101837, Big Chalk. Click Login. Pause this video and get yourself logged in. Now that you're back, you should see elibrary. Go ahead and click that and open it up. Now, elibrary is like Google on steroids. Okay, the school pays for us to have a subscription to this search engine. Okay, the great thing about elibrary is that it's more reliable than just regular Google. All the sources in this database have been curated, they've been collected for you for research purposes. So you're not going to get some of the advertisements, the .coms, the opinions, the blogs, the things that might trip you up on a research project if you were just using Google. So you already have some of the work done for you, so to speak. Okay? So you're going to see all kinds of different features. We're not going to go over every single one of them, but you'll get some of the basic idea. The first thing that you're going to do is decide what research topic to pick to research. Now, this video is going to take you through the topic depression. So, if I type in depression and just click search, what you will get is something that looks like this. Here we go. This is what I need. Okay, so once you type in depression, you should get an orange box. I don't know why mine didn't work at first. And it'll have, why don't you try? And it has all these suggestions. Now, we don't want teen depression because Edgar Allan Poe wasn't a teenager when he wrote the stories that we read. We don't want the Great Depression because that was economic. So we click mental depression, and it will do what's called refining. Refining is to limit your search. In whatever case that you have chosen, whatever topic you've picked, you're going to see results over here. Results by type. Newspapers, pictures, magazines, maps, books, audiovisual, etc. So you could actually click on one of these and get just book results or just website results, etc. For the purpose of understanding depression, we probably don't need pictures. That might be appropriate for a different type of assignment. And we don't really need audio-video. We don't really need transcripts, which is like a TV interview or something that is written out in Word form. Books might be helpful. Newspapers, probably not so much. Maybe magazines, if it was something like helping people understand what depression is. The search results will come up numbered here, 1, 2, 3, etc. Now you can hover over with using this little this little magnifying glass that will give you a couple words or sentences from the article. That can help you understand, is this something that I would be able to use? The hard part about researching in any way is deciding which things to click on. You've got 3,593 results. So I mean, seriously, what are you going to pick? Okay, so you have to decide, what do I want to know? Okay, what is going to help me? Educate yourself about depression. Well, that sounds like it might help us. So that might be helpful to us. It's from something called a journal. And journals are usually more credible than websites because journals are published. Anybody can't just put their information in a journal. So there's a really stringent process for how you get stuff into a journal. It's sad to watch illness ravage a good friend, Buffalo News. Now that's probably not going to help us with Edgar Allan Poe. Breaking the Cycle, another journal. So you have to look at the titles and decide, is this going to give me something that I want to know about the basic definition of depression? The other thing you can look at is these scores. So it says Lexile score 1140, 820, 910. What does that mean? Well, the higher the score, the harder it is to read. So if you find yourself needing help when you read something like from a textbook, and if it's pretty hard and long and has a lot of big sentences and vocabulary words, it's confusing, don't pick one with a high Lexile score. Sometimes your search topic will come up with a little overview up here. And these can be really particularly helpful. Because check this out. It says Edgar Allan Poe's name right here. So wow, we're really on the right track if we're going to pick depression as something that we think he might have had. I can click expand this topic, and I find this entire little paragraph here about the introduction to mental depression. If I click more, then I get the entire article. You can even actually click listen.
Deal, Lyra Nordenberg, FDA Consumer, the 1st of July, 1998.
Wow, so yeah, it reads you the whole thing. That's pretty cool. When you're reading your article, you are going to have to scan through the article and see, is there anything in here that reminds you of Edgar Allan Poe's life? So part of the challenge of this assignment is you actually have to remember what you already learned about Edgar Allan Poe. You have to remember the video, and you have to remember the stories, and you have to remember all the things we talked about in class. So if you don't remember anything about Edgar Allan Poe, then you're probably going to have to go back to Skyward and view the results of your Poe biography documentary assignment so that you can think back to what you learned. So as you're reading it, you're looking for things that remind you of Edgar Allan Poe. If you do find something that reminds you of Edgar Allan Poe, then you know you're on the right track. From here, you can click this little button. Say, oh yes, this is it. I know I want this article. It's going to have some information that will help me know what my topic is, say depression, and it will help me know information about Edgar Allan Poe. So I'm going to click Save to Google Drive. Now, at that point, you're either going to get a message to log into Google Drive, or it'll give you the message you just saw on my screen, which it says it's going to be saved to my Google Drive. Up here, it'll have your first name, and it'll say G, and then your name. So that's how you know if you're linked to your Google Drive. Now check out this cool feature. So if you go to your Google Drive in a new tab, you go to drive.google.com, you're going to find the folder that's called ProQuest. ProQuest eLibrary. Check it out. You've got an entire folder for your eLibrary documents, and the information that you just clicked in on the eLibrary just goes directly into your Google Drive. Boom, there's the entire article that you just saved, with one exception, and this is super important for you to understand. Here's all the information on depression that you thought was useful and good. There's only one thing missing. At the bottom of the article, back on eLibrary, there's the magical and wonderful, glorious thing called an MLA citation. The only problem is when you save that to Google Drive, it does not save the MLA citation with it. So you actually have to go in here, highlight this out like I'm doing, click Control-C, copy, go back to your document on Drive, and paste it in. Now you have the citation and the article all together. That citation that you just pasted also needs to go right here on the Edgar Allan Poe research notes. So you got that? Let me recap. You log into eLibrary. You use the search to find an article that reminds you of the things you learned about Edgar Allan Poe. You click the button to save to your Google Drive. Find the document in your Google Drive, open it in a new tab, and then paste the citation in there. If you're really sure you're going to use this article, you can also paste the citation in the works cited back on your note sheet. Okay, so that's the overview of how to use the ProQuest eLibrary basic features really fast, and what to do, how to get from your ProQuest eLibrary to your Google Drive back and forth so you get everything saved that you need. This video is just the overview. You have a lot more work to do, so there you go.